Okay, some basic factoring here just to refresh your memory. Um, what factors are in common here in 12x squared plus 5x? Well, the two common factors will be, or actually the one common factor is x. And so in this case, I'm going to pull an x out, which will give me 12x, because 12x times x is 12x squared. And the other one is 5. So that's fully factored there. That's a pretty straightforward one. When I look at this next example here, I can pull two things out. I can pull a 12 out of both of these, out of 12 and 24. And I can also pull an x squared term out of both. So I'm going to pull 12x squared out. And 12x squared times 1 will give me the first term back. The second term will have to be 2, because 2 times 12x squared will give me 24. But that should be x squared, so I get x to the fourth power back. So it would be 12x squared, and in brackets, 1 plus 2x squared. The next question here is, again, straightforward. You're going to pull out an x out of each term, and I can also pull out a 3. Now, I could pull out a negative or positive. If I chose a negative, and I just said, well, I'm going to pull out a negative 3x, this first term would become 2x to the fourth, and then plus, or actually, I mean, not plus, but it would actually be minus 1. Now, this will give me this back. If I chose to pull out a 3x, it would just be the reverse. It would be this. And so each one is correct. It's just 1's multiplied by a negative 1. If I look at this next one here, in this case, you're probably used to doing something like this. It may be called FOIL, or what you've been taught. But obviously, to get x squared here, I'm going to have an x and an x. I'm going to pick plus here because everything's adding. So x plus, x plus. Two numbers give me 30. Multiply to give me 30, but add up to 11. Well, I got a choice of 30 and 1, 15 and 2, 6 and 5. Oh, I like 6 and 5. Why? Because they have 11 in common. So if I pick 6 and 5 here, let's see if that works. When I do multiply this back, you're going to get x squared. Good. I get 6x plus 5x. That's 11x. And 6 times 5 is 30. This is great. This is all factored. The last one here, this one, or second last one, it's a little tricky here. Let's see here. What can I pull out here? Well, I'm going to do the exact same thing again. And I get x and x. And in which case I get, let's see here, that this will become, well, two factors. They multiply to give me negative 9. So it's got to be plus and minus. But they add up to 8. Well, it can't be 3 and 3. So it should be 9 and 1. Now, which one's positive, which one's negative? Well, again, overall positive 8. So I'm guessing that's positive 9 and that's negative 1. You can check this. It will give you this back. But there is the final factored form. The last one here will look like this. Basically, oops, that's incorrect here. I'll just go back and show you how I did this one here. If I have 4x squared plus 7x plus 3, you got a choice here of 2 and 2 or 4 and 1. You've already seen it maybe, but I'm going to pick 4 as my factor. You may pick incorrect. That's, what comes with guess and check here. But I'm going to get here 4x times x will give me 4x squared. Two numbers multiplied to give me 3. It can only be 3 and 1. The choice is where to put these. I'm going to just guess here and say right here. Does this give me 7x? Well, I get 3x and 4x, which will give me 7x. Good. This is fully factored. And this one's the most complicated scenario you'll ever get because it has a number in front of the x term, of the x squared term. So it can become a little tricky. But otherwise, hopefully you remember a lot of this stuff from before.